r/self-aware wolves. Once in a blue moon, Redditors almost transform into self-aware creatures. Almost. Submit posts from anywhere where people unknowingly describe themselves. See, actually, I'm not cis, I'm... quotes the definition of cis. See, I'm not cis, I'm female, that's how I was born. If evil people hate you, you might be doing something correct. Doge. And if evil people like Vladimir Putin like you? Said, without a shred of irony, by a MAGA. Better than blindly swearing allegiance to someone simply because they have a D in the front of their name. Brain damage makes one more conservative. Congrats to Senator Fetterman for being the adult in the room. You can't put a price on common sense. Who would have thought the one guy on the Dem side with actual brain damage is the one with more sense? I'm proud he's from Pennsylvania. Are you saying that brain damage makes one more conservative? And it's Fetterman. Yeah, exactly. It's the same way if I owned a store, I wouldn't allow homophobes, transphobes, racists, etc. into my store. Lamel, the left claims to be tolerant while spouting shit like this. Being a conservative does not make me racist or homophobic, and the fact you think that makes you a bigoted one. Where did they mention conservatives? r/self-aware wolves. Do you want a pilot who can fly, or do you want a pilot with a certain skin color? Leave it. When you're flying around with your loved ones, do you pray that your airplane lands safely and gets you to your destination? Or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer. Can we quit pandering to one group of people? Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show sets record ratings. I think people wanted to see what the hubbub was about, nothing to see or hear about. Can we quit pandering to one group of people? I'm sure there's other talent out there that everyone would love to see. They have actually quit pandering to one group of people. You. Incompetent insurrectionists. I put the story of Jan 6th side by side with what the Communist Party did in Tiananmen Square. I was back in China when Tiananmen Square happened. I was a student in 1989. For me, the two historic events are essentially the same thing. You have a bureaucratic government that crushed the people's voice. I was at the Capitol that day. It was a setup. If they're insurrectionists, they're the most incompetent insurrectionists in human history. I mean, that sums up Jan 6th pretty well. The guy died in a shootout with police, killing a canine unit, but at least he wasn't woke about it? Video, MAGA terrorist in Maine livestreaming a shootout with ME State Police. After his wife reported him for domestic violence, he killed a canine unit and wounded a trooper before being KIA. Brainwashed to believe people are targeting him because of his political beliefs. Well, are you saying he's lying about it? Law enforcement has targeted people for beliefs all over the country. This is a sad situation, but I don't see him screaming frantically like left-wing nutjobs making a political point. I hope this ends peacefully for the family's sake. I mean, it didn't end peacefully, and nor should he be defended? Jesus, MAGA never ceases to amaze me. Expectable radicals camouflaged in clerical robes. They use God as a political Trojan horse. Ingram, expect more of these radicals camouflaging themselves in clerical robes. They're gonna want you to believe that they're just following the good book, but they use God as this kind of political Trojan horse. See, the problem with doctors today is they don't want to go and practice medicine. Says MD in Congress, who doesn't see patients. Number one reason for MD shortage is MD schools admitting students aren't going to practice. Only 60% of med students today plan on practicing clinical medicine. Med schools need to focus on admitting students who want to take care of patients, not just to get their MD. Maybe he intentionally missed the comma. The RCMP is planning to conduct undercover surveillance online using fake personas to investigate ideological extremists in Canada, says an internal strategy document. Come and get us, cowards. The picture is authoritarianism. What the right wing really means. Government should be smaller, smaller, smaller. Perfect. No, we don't. Smaller government literally means less control over people's lives. The picture is authoritarianism, not conservatism. I'm not sexist because women are emotional. Because it wasn't a human until it's born. Someone needs to find reasonable, intelligent adults to put a decision on when a fetus has rights. But so far, we just get emotionally unstable women lobbying and protesting for the benefit of their opinion that suits them at the moment. By the way, you never help your bullshit case when you immediately jump to sexism trying to make a point. Abortion is specifically about women. Women are the ones specifically that are too emotional on both sides of this topic. So, what was my sexist comment? You said it about 2 sentences ago, but just have another read of that. We will stop censorship by censoring all these demographics I don't like. Politics warning, but let me speak real quick. So, Trump plans on firing people in organizations, specifically federal organizations, who support the censorship of free speech. He will also do this with the media as well, which means that sites such as Reddit, YouTube, Discord, etc. will all be in trouble since the radical left, which consists of liberals, LGBT, and furries, censors anyone who disagrees with their opinion. It's about time someone will do something about the corporate dictatorship of the left, and I hope that every other nation will follow suit, mainly referring to the Western world. So close, so very close. No politician made the same hand gesture as Elon. What Elon did was identical to a Nazi salute, whatever his intent. The other politicians are still shots of them with a hand raised, but if you watch the footage, none of them made anything close to the Nazi salute like Elon. This right here is the most interesting phenomenon of our time. These people literally believe what they're seeing right in front of their eyes is what they ideologically believe it to be. They're not even able to register what they're seeing as their brain is overriding their eyes and telling them as an objective fact what they want to believe is what they're seeing. I'm confident that they genuinely don't know what they're seeing isn't what their brains are telling them it is. The Nazi salute is a formal salute, and with intention, that when done by military and ranking personnel, involves directly extending the arm 45 degrees with no other body movement and an intention of celebrating, acknowledging, or otherwise showing respects for Hitler. The gesture Elon does is put a hand on his heart, and then in a sweeping motion gestures to the crowd. He leans back empathetically as he gestures, giving his heart to the people. He is smiling and there's no connection or implied connection to showing any acknowledgement or respect to Hitler. At the same time, he states verbally that he gives his heart to the people. To you, you are completely unable to discern any difference between the two gestures. And I'm not joking at all when I say this is a medical phenomenon that will be investigated in due course because it's fascinating. I mean, I think you just did a Hitler salute, mate.